Ready, at your service. Perfect. Of course. Yes. For the humans. Of course. All right. For the humans! Nice. That's easy. So glad to do it. For the Empire! That's easy. Yes. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire! They're already dead! No fear. Understood. Great. Let me blow up some heads! Excellent idea, sir. Yes! So glad to do it. Yes. For the Empire. Great. Let's go. Come on. Of course. Let's go. Of course. Perfect. Of course. All right. Anything more? Those heads are calling for a bullet. All right. Fast and silent. Perfect. No problem. For the Empire. So glad to do it. Interesting. Come on. Perfect. Okay. Nice. Let's go. No fear. Understood. Yes. For the humans. All right. Of course. No problem. Yes. Of course. That's easy. No problem. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. All right. Okay. For the humans! Let's go. The party has just begun. Understood. That's easy. That's easy. Silent and lethal. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire! The party has just begun! No fear. Yes. For the Empire. Okay. So glad to do it. They're already dead! Come on. Perfect. Excellent idea, sir. Nice. Of course. Excellent idea, sir. Let me blow up some heads! Nice. Come on. Silent and lethal. All right. Perfect. No fear! For the Empire. Those heads are calling for a bullet. For the humans. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. For the humans! Great. Of course. For the Empire. Yes! So glad to do it. For the Empire! Great. Perfect. This is going to be fun. Let's go. Of course. Anything more? Of course. Perfect. Yes. Let's go. Nice. Let's go. Perfect. This is going to be fun. Okay. Come on. Come on. They're already dead. Perfect. Those heads are calling for a bullet. For the Empire! Come on. For the humans. For the Empire. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire! No fear! So glad to do it. The party has just begun! For the Empire! Let me blow up some heads! So glad to do it! No fear! All right. Silent and lethal. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. For the humans! For the Empire! Silent and lethal. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. No fear! They're already dead! No fear! The party has just begun! Those heads are calling for a bullet. Let me blow up some heads! Come on! For the humans! So glad to do it! Let's kill the enemies of the Empire! Of course, for the humans. Yes! Yes. All right. Great. For the Empire. For the Empire. Yes. Okay. So glad to do it. What do we have here? What do we have here? It looks great. Come on. Priceless. Sounds good. All right. No fear. Of course, for the Emperor. Perfect. All right. Perfect. The party has just begun. For the Empire. Yes. Nice. Come on. This is for the Empire. This will come in handy. This would be useful. For the humans. Come on. I love it. Anything more? So glad to do it. No problem. So glad to do it. It could be a trap, but let's go. Yes! Perfect. For the Emperor. That's easy. Great. Nice. Yes! Okay. For the humans. Perfect. Yes. Let's go. That's easy. They're already dead! Silent and lethal. For the Empire. For the Empire. Yes. Okay. Those heads are calling for a bullet. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire! Interesting. Interesting. Come on. This is for the Empire. Okay. All right. For the Emperor. Let me blow up some heads. Great. Of course. No fear. Understood. Perfect. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. For the humans! Excellent idea, sir. For the humans. For the Empire. For the Empire! Silent and lethal. For the humans! No problem. No fear! No fear! For the humans! Those heads are calling for a bullet. They're already dead! So glad to do it. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. Nice. Of course. That's easy. Let's go. That's easy. Let's go. Yes. Of course. The party has just begun. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire for the glory of Quintus. All right. For the Empire. Let me blow up some heads. Yes. So glad to do it. No problem. Yes. Perfect. Yes. Of course. Okay. For the Empire. Of course. Fast and silent. Come on. Come on. That's easy. For the Empire. Of course. Perfect. Come on. So glad to do it. They're already dead. Yes. So glad to do it. No fear. For the humans. For the Empire. For the Empire. Of course. Perfect. Sounds good. No problem. Come on. Perfect. The party has just begun. Let me blow up some heads. Silent and lethal. Of course. Perfect. Come on. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. Understood. Nice. Yes. Let's go. All right. For the Emperor. Perfect. Nice. All right. Those heads are calling for a bullet. Okay. No fear. Of course. Yes. Of course. Anything more? For the humans! All right. Of course. Great. So glad to do it. Come on. So glad to do it. For the Empire! Nice. For the humans, of course. The party has just begun. Those heads are calling for a bullet. All right. Come on. All right. That's easy. Excellent idea, sir. They're already dead. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. No fear. For the humans. For the Empire. Silent and lethal. Let me blow up some heads. No problem. Of course. Perfect. Let's go. Great. For the humans. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire. For the Empire. Okay. All right. Come on. Let's go. No fear. Let me blow up some heads. That's easy. All right. So glad to do it. Let's go. For the Empire. Yes. Of course. Yes. For the humans. So glad to do it. For the Empire. No fear. Perfect. All right. Nice. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire. All right. Wonderful. Perfect. For the Emperor. Excellent idea, sir. For the humans! I still have some tricks up my sleeve. Nice. For the Empire. For the Emperor. Let's go. Of course. For the Emperor. All right. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Understood. For the Emperor. Silent and lethal. They're already dead. For the Empire. Perfect. For the humans. Let's go. Okay. Those heads are calling for a bullet. No fear. The party has just begun. For the Empire. Silent and lethal. Perfect. Fast and silent. Nice. For the humans! They're already dead! Come on! The party has just begun! Those heads are calling for a bullet. For the Empire. Of course, that's easy. For the humans. Of course. Let's go. For the Emperor. Understood. It could be a trap, but let's go. Perfect. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire. So glad to do it. Of course. Yes. Come on. Come on. That's easy. Come on. Understood. Of course. That's easy. All right. No problem. Let's go. Let's go. So glad to do it. No fear. For the Empire. Let me blow up some heads. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. No fear. No fear. For the Empire. They're already dead. Nice. Yes. For the humans. Nice. The party has just begun. Interesting. Come on. Silent and lethal. No fear. Those heads are calling for a bullet. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. Yes. Okay. Okay. Great. Yes. So glad to do it. Let me blow up some heads. Okay. For the Empire. Let's go. All right. So glad to do it. Let's go. Great. Yes. For the Empire. Perfect. Come on. Sounds good. No problem. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire! Of course. For the humans! For the Empire! I still have some tricks up my sleeve. Let's go. Those heads are calling for a bullet. They're already dead. Great. I love it. Great. Nice. No problem. I love it. Yes. Okay. Yes. For the humans! No fear. All right. Yes. Nice. Let's go. For the Emperor. Perfect. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire. Fast and silent. Silent and lethal. Let me blow up some heads. For the Empire. So glad to do it. So glad to do it. Yes. No fear. Perfect. Sounds good. For the Empire. Not sure, but let's do it. I hope not to find a harpy there. For the humans. Let's go. The party has just begun. Sounds good. Let's go. For the Empire. For the Empire! Let's go. Those heads are calling for a bullet. Come on. Excellent idea, sir. That's easy. So glad to do it. For the Empire. I still have some tricks up my sleeve for the humans. They're already dead! No fear! Of course. Yes. Come on. No fear! Anything more? I love it. Of course. For the Empire. Sounds good. The party has just begun. For the humans! Let me blow up some heads. Let's go. Okay. That's easy. Of course. Silent and lethal. Let's go. Not sure, but let's do it. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire. For the humans. So glad to do it. Those heads are calling for a bullet. For the Empire! For the Empire! Let me blow up some heads! For the humans! Yes. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire! That's easy. So glad to do it. So glad to do it. Sounds good. I love it. Nice. For the Empire. They're already dead. Come on. Okay. I love it. Great. Yes. Let's go. All right. I love it. For the humans. Come on. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. fear. Wonderful. Perfect. Great. Excellent idea, sir. The party has just begun. No fear. All right. Yes. Excellent idea, sir. Silent and lethal. Understood. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. All right. All right. Let's go. Yes. Great. For the glory of Quintus. No problem. Understood. Anything more? Let's go. Perfect. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Come on. Of course. All right. That's easy. Yes. For the humans. Okay. Let's go. Of course. This is going to be fun. Fast and silent. Okay. Understood. Perfect. All right. For the Empire. Come on. Fast and silent. Come on. For the Empire. This is going to be fun. Understood. So glad to do it. Silent and lethal. Let's kill the enemies of the Empire. So glad to do it. For the humans! Come on. Amazing. Nice. It shines. This will come in handy. Anything more? Interesting. Nice. All right. Come on. Interesting. Come on. For the humans. Excellent idea, sir. Yes. Come on. For the humans. For the Emperor. Nice. Yes. Perfect. All right. Those heads are calling for a bullet.